Good afternoon and good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the AVGL Collegiate Champions League tournament featuring Warzone for qualifier number 4. Going back once again, Caribou joined alongside me this time with FBI Tugboat, the magnificent mustache himself. Welcome on in, and how are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing real well. I'm doing real well. Casting some new collegiate stuff here, a little Warzone action, and I'm doing it with Confused Caribou. I cannot complain about that one bit.
This is an interesting show that is going to be happening here. You know, with the amount of qualifiers we had, you know, how long we've taken to get to this point. Last week had a phenomenal competition. Going down to the wire, week 2, the same thing. We saw a couple of teams getting ready to qualify just outside of that positioning. Ended up with the second place finish. Kaiser showing up and doing spectacularly. But, you know, it's been a lot of Northwood. And it just what they've been able to do week in and week out. These guys are just absolutely tearing it up out there.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about this format just in case you guys are just now joining us. Again, this is the AVGL Collegiate Champions League. Little Warzone action coming at you. There'll be 5 weeks of qualifiers. You can find out all about the rules and more over at avgl.org, of course. Just want to get it to you guys just in case, again, just joining us and you want to hear from me. This is 5 weeks of qualifiers. Of course, the grand finals coming in on March 24th, so we're really not that far away here, Trevor. Only about 2 weeks. $3,000 on the line. That is broken down thusly. $1,200 going into first, $900 on into second, $600 on a third place, and fourth getting themselves $300. That's $100 a piece for these trio lobbies. So, and that's just for playing Warzone, my man. That's just playing some Warzone.
It's just an easy day at the office is really all it boils down to. And, you know, when you get into the way that these guys are playing Warzone, a lot of them, you know, with the size of these lobbies and the way that we've seen them play, we don't have time to sit around and wait. Okay, these guys are dropping down. They're getting their loadouts first and second real quick.
Oh, yes.
And then they're just getting into chopper and they are going around to just wreak havoc on anyone that they come across. And I mean, it's been absolutely spectacular to watch. I'm glad you are here to join me this week to see what these guys bring to the table, because that, yeah, you're not going to complain about walking away with $1,200 just for playing some Warzone for a couple of hours.
Exactly. Again, it is going to be 5 weeks, but still going to be earned through and through. We are, of course, on week number 4 now. And these teams are going to be accumulating points based on their placements within these individual Warzone matches, as well as how many kills they get. So they'll be rewarded both ways around. There's not going to be just a crazy, just get as many kills as you can, and also not going to be any ratting going on. Just trying to stay alive till the very first place right there, because again, you play points for those kills as well. Now at this point, I want to go ahead and take the opportunity to shout out one of our partners here, the people and organizations that do make this possible. Of course, shout out to all of our production crew, my co-caster here, Trevor, of course. We got, excuse me, we got NOLA, as well as First Night of Knee. I want to give a shout out to them, as well as the guy who brought me on, that's Zach, coming in from AVGL as well. Shout out to Slans, Neon's World, and Moon, all providing their kind of individual performances and helping out, and again, making this here possible. Now, Esport Certified is a big partner here for the AVGL. This is a gaming gear destination that is designed exclusively for the kind of scholastic side, for that collegiate university students, and the value that they can really provide for them. You can find out more about the premier esports gear from that features stuff. From Razer, from SteelSeries, HyperX as well. HyperX did my little headset here, and you can get all of these some epic savings. You can check out what they have over there at esportcertified.com, spelled just like it is. No spaces, no underscores, obviously, nothing like this, Trevor.
Oh yeah, and it's just phenomenal to ask for it, especially when you're back there in the collegiate window. You know, you always know college is not cheap, man. It's hard out there.
Take it from me.
If you're able to get some phenomenal peripherals at a discounted rate, I mean, that's just everything you could ask for. So a huge shout out to Esports Certified to be able to help put this one on, and, you know, give a little bit of love along the way to the collegiate students, because these guys are like the future of the esports scene, right? You've seen so many people that become from a YouTube stream, from a Twitch stream, from their content creation, and make a name for themselves, all of a sudden they're getting invited to like Twitch rivals, and they're getting invited to these
little
the
competitions like
Huskers
that.
tournaments. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
just little
small things.
Exactly.
It's like
little backyard, just
six-figure. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and
no.
just pocket change, right? Fantastic stuff, really is, and markedly different from kind of my own personal collegiate experience. I would have loved for some of these opportunities to have been around, more than 1 or 2 years ago when I went to college. All jokes aside, what graduated, I think it's 7 years ago or so now, or 6 years ago or so now, would have been really cool. There was programs, there's clubs in my public university, my public Southern University, but obviously more so the focus is going to be on your traditional sports, your footballs, your basketballs, and your baseballs. So huge shout out to AVGL and more that's really coming in here and making this possible as well. And of course, is esports certified. Now, at this point, let's turn attention towards a little bit more about what we can expect to see here, Trevor. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is my first time, right? I might have completely lost it, and I might have been here before without knowing it. This is not your first time, is what I'm getting at, though, right?
I've been around the block a time or two, I guess.
There you go.
Got
Not
be
his
here for the
first
first
rodeo.
couple. Yeah, that's right.
Gotcha.
I left my the cowboy hat in the other room though, so
A travesty.
no rodeo
a
trip
travesty.
today.
My point is, Trevor, is please enlighten me and
Yes.
enlighten these good people on what we might be able to expect to see here today.
I mean, the way that you see, a lot of these guys are very comfortable with playing their own pacing, right? And some of the interviews we've had the luxury of having, they understand all of a sudden they're at a point where I can just play whatever I want to do. I can go to whatever POI I want. I can drop. You guys get the money real fast, and then all of a sudden they get their first, second loadout. They get their overkills. They get the ghosts, and then they can just get in a chopper. They pick up the UAVs. They get a bounty if they're feeling cheeky. And they just go around to find as many people as they can. So off the drop, it's a little bit slower to start, and then you'll see about 10 to 15 players immediately drop out. You'll see a few buybacks, and then zones like 2, 3, maybe a little bit into 4. It's just a huge lull where a lot of players are just running in circles around the map trying to find each other. And then once you do get down to those final zones, everything starts to stack up, and like, okay, now it's all really going in. And that's when the fireworks really start to go off, and that's the best part, to see what these teams do to prepare themselves for that, because you'll see a lot of the meta, just the ARs, SMGs, but something that's been surprising to me is some of these guys breaking out some Kar 98s, a couple of sniper rifles in there as well. I'm like, not something I typically see in competition formats, but they're doing it, and I love to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of different looks coming out from here. Now, especially when you're talking personally, I'm talking about those longer range shots, especially in your Battle Royale versions like these. Nothing more on the line, only get one life. Normally, of course, this is Warzone, so there's a whole lot of opportunities to kind of be brought back here, whether through Gulag, obviously, that is guaranteed. Teammates just kind of playing that role and getting that team cohesion going through with the buybacks and more on there. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing more exciting than a nice long-range snipe right to somebody's face, right?
Yeah, it's so satisfying. Just dinking heads all day long.
Personally, maybe it's not something that's so possible for old FBI tugboat, but that's why I'm on this side of the desk, right?
Yeah, same. Likewise. I left those days back in Call of Duty 2 in the rifle-only lobbies. I'm not there anymore, but people think they have the headies and they're just set up, and then all of a sudden you bust out the car and their head's just gone. So
ruined days.
Very nice.
Just aerating, get them a couple of the extra holes up top to breathe out of. Really, at the end of the day, you're being polite. Really, so
yeah, I'm doing them a favor.
You have your Warzone lobbies thanking you, Trevor. What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just doing them a favor. I'm just being the nice guy.
There you go. Exactly. Just a nice guy out here. Just a nice guy out here. So, running through these again, we got a lot of cash on board here today, but of course, that is not going to be decided today. Nobody's getting a dollar in the pockets today. That'll be happening on March 24th. And again, a lot of money coming in through there. $1,200 with 3 players. Even FBI Tugboat can do that math. That's $400 coming on for you for, again, playing a couple hours of Warzone 5 weeks in a row. Most people, I would say the majority of players probably plays at least of active players of Warzone, play at least a couple hours per week, right?
At least it's a safe bet. I mean, you could put it into perspective of, people just play a couple hours a day. I mean, you would invest about half an hour into a single game of Warzone, and 4 games is not enough. You can't end on a loss. So
maybe for you, it's more like 5 minutes.
I mean, if you lose the game, then you have to just queue up again. I don't make the rules. It's just how it is. You can't end on a loss.
Yes,
you
sir.
have to go back until you get a win. And sometimes
Exactly.
it takes until 6 a.m. the next day. But hey, you don't quit.
Quitters never win. There you go. Miracle on Ice. That's the FBI Tugboat's Warzone performances here, guys. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but as far as format, Trevor, what we're going to be looking at is a solid 2-hour block in which these teams can go forth, run as many as they can. They're going to be getting points for kills, points for placements, or am I totally wrong? Your voice
Yes,
is,
but
your
no.
face is saying
No,
something
but
else.
yes. Also,
Okay,
yes, but
gotcha.
also no, and no, but also yes. They will be going for roughly about 2 hours. But we're going to be loading into custom lobbies. So these guys are all queuing up against each other into a
Yes.
singular lobby, and only the top dogs come out. And that's
There it is.
really the kind of emphasis of this, of who is the top dog going to be. And that's why you'll see those teams that go to locations, that get their loadouts faster to get their helicopters, really aggress themselves onto the rest of the lobby because they want to be the ones that come out towards the end of the game. And depending on the way
The
the
very
zone
best.
pulls, we've seen some crazy zones in the last couple weeks. I mean, I don't know how many Warzone events I've casted in the last 6-8 months, but these are some of the wildest zones I've ever seen where they just, to me, suck. I hate them, but
There's no rhyme
they
or
make
reason.
for riveting gameplay. Like they're pulling all the way to the southwest corner where it's just trees, or they're pulling to the rocks north of Quarry. Like that's all that's up there, and it's like, I hate
Literally
this.
throwing darts at throwing darts at a map, right? Or at a
Such
board.
a skill check. I love it.
Yeah, right. It's like the equivalent of spinning a globe and deciding on where you're gonna go just by putting a finger down. That's your rhyme or reason here for your Warzone lobbies. Sometimes I can 100% agree with you, and really, at the end of the day, that is going to be a separate test of skill for these individual players. Obviously, we could talk about ring peaking all day long, but at the end of the day, no matter what ring you get, you're still going to get a solid amount of kind of until obviously the very very last. And that point, you ain't got to worry about rotating too much. I promise you, but coming into until ring 6 or 7, that's a whole other level of skill. You called it a skill check earlier. I like that because at the end of the day, you have to be able to realize, not just from knowing the map, like literally like the back of your hand, geographically knowing where these individual places are. I would not be the first person to complain about something, the vaulting issues, the mounting issues when it comes to some of these rock walls and things like this. They really do set you out and sometimes completely ruin the end of the game unless you plan for it, unless you adapt, unless you know the geographical layout of these maps. And there's always that backup plan, that where do we go? We're eventually going to have to rotate, but if that doesn't work for whatever reason, what's the backup plan? What's the second plan? What are we going to do next? Or are we just going to die like dogs in the mud?
And that's one of the huge things that you'll see some of the teams do. I mean, only a couple of times did we actually see anyone going for a recon where they're going to find out where the next zone goes ahead of everybody else. And I think even that little tiny bit of information is pretty good to have an understanding of what the next play is going to be. So you can kind of be proactive to plan ahead like that. And then, that has a degree of an effect on what your move's going to be. But the teams that we saw doing that are teams that are, okay, we know where the zone's going to be. So now we're just going to kind of rotate around that and just get an idea of the area
Cut out there,
and how
my
many
friend.
players.
I can't hear you.
Just kind of get an idea of like where all these players are and where the teams are.
Trevor,
going
if
to
you're
be.
talking, I can't hear you.
This is really not. Is it
There we
just
go.
you? What the
Okay.
heck?
Might
Hello?
have just been through. That was just through vMix for a second. I got you
I
on
don't know.
Discord now.
Things are just going crazy in this world. That's
It
it's
happens.
first off. Second off, one, it's Las Vegas, and that's the first problem. The second problem is that when I went outside to get the mail like 45 minutes ago, we had the only circle of sunlight in the entire city. Everything else around us is all clouds and storms. So
Oh, okay.
I guess fingers crossed that I hope that doesn't kick in because that would be a
Gotcha.
problem.
Obviously, I'm no game dev. I don't know much about them their hardwares and softwares and internet stuffs. But does having clouds in the sky affect internet to this day? Like, I know, like, if you're talking about major like electrical storms, you can talk about knocking out powers. You can talk about overloading capacitors and those green boxes outside that a name is escaping me right now. But not 100% sure. Maybe if you lived out, like, do you live out in the country with like satellite
No.
internet? Yeah. Oh yeah. Where,
I
you
mean,
live right
like-
there on the strip or something?
I wish, man, that would be living the life out there, but
Yeah.
no, we don't have that. But I mean, there's probably enough technology now that like they can mitigate what clouds can do to your Wi-Fi. Either way, I don't know, but rumor has it we're getting pretty close here to this and see what these players are going to do. We're going to see that plane breaking through the clouds here pretty soon, dropping in 2 for
It's
Dons.
a beautiful sight. It is.
This is And interesting. What do you think? I mean, if your extent of experience in Warzone, everyone's got their favorite drop. What's yours?
I mean, okay, just talking about geographic location, obviously prison. Like, there's so much
Really?
fun going into, yeah, like just the geographical location, excuse me, and being able to move across turrets across the top. Like, but obviously it's not something that's frequently in there. But if you're just talking about like, this place, like you cut and paste it, you put it anywhere, not obviously taking circles into account, because vast majority of the time I would say prison's just not really that viable.
Right.
Outside of at least the early game, like maybe you drop there, you get loaded up and stuff like that. There's almost always that motorcycle, or not the motorcycle, the helicopter. Motorcycles don't fly, at least in my experience. The helicopter there inside there that you can take for a quick out and whatnot. But A, it's always fun and it's fast, electrifying gameplay. B, it's like literally kind of a castle and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. And C, those turrets and kind of the movements around do allow you to kind of drop on top there and then move down as you so choose. And I just kind of personally like that. Obviously, not a place that's frequently going to be inside circle and really be viable, but just asking a personal favorite, it'd be that. Train,
Interesting.
as soon as Train came out, I think I dropped there probably 20 times in a row, die or live or win. But because I love the idea, being able to get loaded up there. There's an ammo crate right on top there, so whatever you get, you're gonna get loaded up, and then it's literally moving, right? Like you don't even have to really operate yourself. You don't have to get inside a vehicle to try and get somewhere, and it's a very predictable path as well. So you always know when to get off, and that's kind of going full circle back to kind of what we talked about earlier. Fortunately for me, when it comes to trains, I can just I can do it. I can make sense. I can be like, okay, we're gonna go hop out here and go on the next and move into circles and whatnot, Trevor. But and that again just kind of like makes like a little bit more sense to me, I guess.
That's I don't even know, because like this in the same point, when Train came out, that was the hot drop. Everyone's like, I have to see what
Yep.
this is all about as we get into to figure out where all these teams are themselves going to drop. But I don't know if anyone actually reliably drops onto Train anymore. That's just kind of one of
Weird
those
gang,
things
what
that
can I
like
say?
they go to their own location, and then all of a sudden, if the train's passing by, like, hey, let's go see if that's looted real quick. And
Throw a
then
thumb
if
out,
it
you know.
happens to be going the same direction as to where the zone's pulling, then okay, then we'll just ride this for a while, see what happens. But and beyond that, it's we saw a really cool rotation aspect of it, coming down to final zone that I was talking about. Phantom did so a couple of weeks ago. Was able to hop on the train in a very small zone, get a free rotation without giving away the audio cues, make the rotation to just ego challenge the player that's next to him on the rock, get that kill, and then in a 1v2 almost came out with that victory as well. So every once in a while, the train is that little key component to give you that little edge that you weren't expecting.
That's fourth man. That's fourth man. I hear what you're saying, Trevor. I hear what you're saying. We'll see how that goes. Again, geographical location-wise, it's going to be very, very hard. I mean, if you're talking about like Circle 6 or something like this, you'd have to be like a mana from the gods raining down upon you to really be able to get something else like that. And like, obviously, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not necessarily something that I personally would really like. I personally can say that like, oh, there's a time that I've used that or whatever else like that. Even though just based on audio cues wise and rotations, like being able to get somewhere for free, that's money all day long. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Just not sure if we're gonna see it tonight.
Yeah, and talking about getting money all day long, I mean, these guys, that's all they're looking for as soon as they go into the drop here. And we're gonna start out with the Strela. Okay, that's just some ground loot. See what we got going on, but already.
Obviously, we're a little bit farther into this one, but yes, shout out to Esport Certified as well, Premier Gear, and Epic Savings. You can find out what they're doing at their website and more. We're on board here with Cap Crew and Aaron Rules. Little duo action coming in. Wait, no, hang on. We're spectating with them because... No, okay, sorry. No obvious we're on board with Spectator here. I'm sorry about that. I thought for a second that this was already a done team. My bad.
Yeah, just going in with the Spectate. That's... unfortunate, the Warzone gets the custom lobbies, but we don't have spectator mode. That's an interesting angle as to, we haven't quite made it that far in technology yet for Warzone. This is the one thing that we are lacking is to...
I mean, it happens, right? Like, at the end of the day, yes, in a perfect world, everybody would have, 10 gigabytes up and down, and we never drop again, and players would always show up on time, right?
Yeah.
And we would all have awesome sponsors and partners like Esport Certified. There you go. There's a nice little plug. Going into this one, we are looking at a circle that is pretty much just the top half of this one, kind of bisectioned right along that middle part. So kind of interesting lines here, Trev.
Yeah, this is, I mean, obviously starting to pull all the way north, so depending on which direction, east or west, it's going to go. I mean, either going to have a dam or towards the quarry. Please, not quarry. That's all I can ask for my own personal vindictions.
Please! I hear you.
I just don't like it.
What was that, Trevor?
Just I'm just trying to like theory craft as to what the move here is going to be for these guys. I mean, obviously going building to building for loot, but they just don't have, I mean, they have enough money for their loadout, but I'm kind of surprised in the sense that they haven't gone out and picked it up here. So a little slower to their start. I mean, not that there's going to be anybody around here because they are in a very sparse location where there's really not anybody out here, but I was kind of surprised at, you know, how slow they're going to get their loadout.
So, okay, I understand what you're saying. Kind of like the idea about ways where and when they want to utilize this. Obviously, as soon as you come down with this, you know, this extra hardware, everybody's gonna be paying attention to you, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, avoiding attention is not gonna be a bad thing. Nobody's gonna go broke by avoiding attention here and picking engagements when they want to start it. Getting a little look at the map as we start to get this one going on in. Prison will be completely devoured by our circle here soon. It's obviously slower.
Yeah.
But we're going to be seeing how these two guys go. Again, we're on board with Cap Crew and Aaron Rules. Do we know what college they're from?
Oh, let me do a quick scrolly see and see if I
OUK?
can...
I'm going to say that's...
could be Oklahoma.
Yep, that's what it sounds
Oklahoma
like.
has a couple of squads in here.
Oklahoma, University, Kentucky. I don't know. I have no idea there. I'm sorry. Lily throwing darts in the dark there.
And that's the thing about the signups versus their actual in-game names, is that the names just don't necessarily have to match. So could be a complete guessing game as to
that's fair.
who's who.
Also, this is a free game, so players can come in with new gamer tags in any given time. True. With no detriment, without having purchased another game. A fact that has resulted, obviously, in... Well, we won't speak negatively. I think everybody knows where I was going with that one.
Yeah. It's, their loadout's secured. I mean, this is not surprising to see them in this position. This is probably going to be a relatively... At least a place that teams on the rotation are going to check in on. They're going to stop by and say, hey, what's up? How's it going over here? And then, you know, we'll see these people on top of the building like so. Just kind of be in this position where... You know, they can keep an eye out as to what is going on around them here. And exactly this, just watching these two guys up on the rooftop, you can bounce back and forth between here and bank. Should be a lot of money in the bank as well, literally and figuratively. UAV out of this as well, so a little extra resource in their pocket to help them if they want to make another rotation. But with the FFAR in hand, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them having an FFAR, both of them with an SMG. If not, maybe they're feeling a little confident, pull out the Car 98, maybe the AX50. Still fairly meta.
You really want this Car 98, don't you, Trev? I hear you.
No,
I hear you.
I'm looking for the montage clips, man. That's what I need.
I hear you. Everybody trying to make a montage. Man, I remember back in the day, that was the thing to do. What was those? I had this little red capture card. I'm trying to remember the name of it, or like the name of the brand. That was all Halo 2, Halo 3. It had like the classic RGB in the back, like the yellow, white, and red. Yellow, yep. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, the Dazzles, and then the other one was the Hapag HD PVRs. That was the big one, too, back in the day. I had one of each. I still have my HD PVR, too.
Oh, so you still have your real material, your big montage stuff. Okay, I'm with it. Maybe we get a little bit of that on... I'm sorry?
It comes in at 720p max, maybe.
Yeah. If you're absolutely lucky, right? Yeah.
Right.
Looking at, what, 2006, 2007, 2008 times for this very old caster, I think we'd be lucky with 360 and 30 frames. But, hey, that's much older games. That was a little Halo 2 action back in the day. Back when I used to be good. I promise. It used to happen. I have video evidence.
Somewhere it's out there.
Yeah, actually, I have no idea what that capture card is, but hey, regardless, there is the audio. We got 36 players left in this, 16 different teams. Unless I'm wrong? My math wrong there?
It's good to me. Numbers
Okay.
are right.
The numbers. The numbers.
The numbers, Mason.
The numbers, Mason.
What a great game that was, too.
It really was. I gotta say, and if anybody has not played the campaign, go ahead and mute for like 5-10 seconds. But I got kind of tired of the new game, like Cold War. About it just seems like every Black Ops is gonna go the same way, like narrative-wise. Like, oh, all this other stuff. Actually, it's like a mental like trick or whatever, and they're trying to like get you back, and it's not actually your memory. But hey, longer range shots, little AUG action off the top. That's gonna be a broken shield and more, as this is now Aaron Rules and Cap on the prowl.
It's another kind of surprise, and seeing the AUG is just absolutely decimating the meta right now, and it is in complete control of the ARs. FFAR, a lot of people take just because it is the fully automatic. People just don't like that burst rifle, but lo and behold, here comes the third party. Helicopters coming in. Things about to get interesting.
This is a smart move here, just kind of moving inside. Yes, Aaron is still outside and actually taking a little bit of flak that he is definitely not going to want. Speaking of the aerial action, rotations coming through from Cap. Longer range. Oh, man. Yeah, so gonna get in the spinning carcass, the husk of the helicopter outside there, and that's going to be mincemeat made of your Cap player. Aaron Rules, unfortunately, following suit on that one. And we're off to the Gulag, Trev.
Way they go. See what their fortune is going to be. Spectating time here, but at least both of them still have their Gulag opportunity. One of those sayings that like you just don't want to lose that safety net early, or at least lose the safety net at the same time, right? Like it's just a position that you want to be able to have something that you can lean on. But both of you in the Gulag at the same time that's a lot of extra pressure.
Yeah, like you said, that fail safe. That kind of like safety net there. You'll have a little bit of time, a little bit of leeway on that. Looking for headies and more, and that's actually Cap that took the loss there towards the end. Last few shots, and I'm not sure that's a chow I take, right?
At that point, I mean, you're already just kind of down, but not out. So you might as well just don't push the envelope, don't push the issue. But I like the aggressive swing at the 74U. That's the thing that's taken over in the CDL right now, the 74U, because it is so reliable in multiplayer itself. Granted, a lot of people have the criticism that this game's current patches are based around Warzone more often than they are in the multiplayer, but this is the 74U.
Or exposure of truth, like.
It's a little tomato type thing.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, money makers, right? End of the day.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard business. Developers business. They're going to do what's making them money. Can't argue against it. And Warzone is an absolutely money printer. You've not seen something like that since the U.S. Treasury. We're looking at this guy here dropping down. Okay, I do want to touch on that, the 74U. So there's been a whole bunch back and forth on GAs and everything else like that. The most recent, obviously, being that the XM4 done dusted. Can't see it in Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War in any way, shape, and form competitively. Not just the detachments, not just barrels, nothing like this. Nothing. Not a zilch, not a zero. Now the 74U, of course, their change was. You're good. Where the 74U, the change coming in from them was, or from it was the barrel mods. Can't have any barrel mods. The idea being, of course, muzzles. I can't remember. Whichever one helps with the vertical bounce. That's what I'm trying to say here. The muzzles,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it is muzzles. Yeah, sometimes I get the number. I get the numbers, Mason. I get them mixed up sometimes. But my point is there's no muzzles capable on those anymore. The idea being that what they want is to have that bigger division between ARs and SMGs, with SMGs simply doing more up close and personal, ARs relegated to the longer range damage, and that is not something I'm against in any way, shape, and form.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
all
exact
for...
same loadout?
Yeah,
was that the exact same loadout that he just had?
Yeah, look, I think he dropped in on the loot to try to pick that up and just make sure that, with a little bit of the floating, just to make sure that the team wasn't still here, kind of camping this, but...
No, I'm not against that. What I was asking, unless I'm wrong, I know that was the same SMG. Was that the literally exact same loadout that he found on that body, though?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, everyone's running the same
I
thing.
mean, it is Warzone. 500, 600 points away from buyback, though. This is an Aaron Rules player that is not in a bad position. As we can see from the top here, already gotten himself a kill. I believe that Cap was able to take one as well. Aaron's did come from the Gulag, of course, as he is now back. But again, I think that Cap took down one before he died.
Yeah, I think they were able to trade at least a couple here, back and forth, but haven't seen a lot. I mean, only a handful of players have gone down since, about 8 or 9. We've lost 3 teams along the way. Somebody just got bought back. But you see the zone as it continues to pull. Start to split between Dam and military base, and going to be a lot of open area as this continues to get an interesting sort of draw from where this does go because of just the fact that there's just so many trees out here. You see a helicopter on the horizon. Someone going to be looking for something out here. Imagine they're flying around with the UAV active right now, but you got enough money for your teammate to get bought back now, so we'll see what the move is going to be. This is inside of that safe area, the building that they started at prior to, so there's at least something around here that they can work with, but obviously with all the weapons on the ground.
That's
yeah.
That famous last words. Famous last words. What he means, of course, is this is technically inside this just inside this the zone, the next zone right here. But with this being a super centralized location and a player dropping down, I'm honestly kind of there. You go. There's the shots that we expected. I'm not rooting against him now, but seriously, I played enough Warzone to know. There you go. To know that that's going to be honestly, a lot more likely than being able to drop down, get kills, get your loadout, anything else like that, and get it back. Especially now with third circle ending in the 4th soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best you can do is just to try to get back to put yourself in a position like that, but immediately going back to that, it's just so far away from your teammate. I don't know. It's concerning in the sense that you just got to try to play a little bit more together, especially when you're in a trios lobby and it's already, just you two, like you don't have your third. So already down one, don't make it any harder than it has to be.
Exactly. Yeah, don't fix it if it ain't broke. Don't make it any harder if it has to be. And honestly, at this point, with the solo left, Aaron Rules' idea needs to just be get money, stay alive, get your teammate back, then get in, try and take some more kills after taking your because at this point, you're pretty much guaranteed some placement points. Do we have a breakdown of that actually, Trevor?
The placement points?
Of what teams will be getting based on placements?
Yeah. Yeah, so looking at first place, 25 points. Second gets 22.
Okay.
And then third place gets 19.
Yep.
Or 17, and then it starts to go down a point at a time all the way through 20th place. And then anything below 20th in the team is going to be a big old goose egg.
Yep, not a zilch, not a zero. You get a nice pat on the back and thank you for playing. But so, third place, really looks like fourth to... obviously, first place is best. But really, the points drop off, start coming in more so from 4th place or so. 17 for 4th, 19 third, 22 second, 25 for the first. So essentially, what you get 1 4th place finish. That is the equivalent to 8.5 kills. So again, this is more so about your placements. You will be forced to take engagements. You will die very expeditiously if you are kind of refusing to take engagements. If you're kind of pulling away from that, if you're pensive about that, because you're in a lobby. Again, everybody in this tournament is in this lobby. So everybody knows that. Everybody will expose that very, very quickly if you are pensive.
Yeah. And this, I mean, just the way this zone continues to pull, man, especially, back against wall, there's just really nothing out here for you to loot. And because the helicopter spawns a military base, you would imagine that a lot of this stuff has already been looted. These tents have already been hit, the warehouses as well. So there's just not going to be a lot of money here. There's not going to be a lot for you to really siphon through to be able to get your teammate back. So this is a tough scene, especially when you look and there's some red smoke of a loadout, and there's also a helicopter, and well, that airstrike is explicitly about sending a message, and that's really about it.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Now they're going to be looking towards your direction as to where this came from, and 1 on 3. I'm not so good at numbers, but I think 3 is bigger than 1.
Than counting things.
Yeah.
Public high schools, right? I went to a public university. Now that's where they taught me the numbers real good. I know, without that, the 1v3, I think that I might have been lost without that one. South Carolina, not well known for their stellar public high schools. Aaron rules. That's what we're on board with. You can see he has in the distance there, a little hollow helicopter action going on north of him, maybe looking closer towards Dam. Not 100% sure where the idea is there. We got 17 players left alive, 8 squads, so we have at least a top 9 finish guaranteed for our Aaron and Cap Rules duo. What that means at place number 9, trying to see this, 12 points at least for them, and again 2 for every elim. I'm sorry for not going over that earlier, guys.
Yeah. It's it kind of adds a little bit of the exclamation as to, being able to be consistent through these games, through these series of, how it goes from one round to the next, because only having 3 games to play is not a lot that you really can do. This is actually the first time I think that we've seen this in this tournament, this sort of feature coming in with these new missile silos, because, there's really not, I guess, a lot to offer here as far as loot goes. It's just kind of a little bit of ammo, a couple of boxes, and maybe a small stack of cash or 2. But this is beyond that. I mean, the silos are virtually worthless, and on the other side of it, I mean, you just get rid of the subways and the bunkers, completely gone. But I'm very excited as to the development of this, because as more and more teachers come out, there's another patch coming up here very soon. That this new season, on the season drop day, JJ and I talked about it last week. It's like, nothing happened spectacularly except for opening up of a few silos and closing of a few locations. But there's something on the horizon that's about to happen, and I can't wait for it.
Okay, so what really troubles me here, Trevor, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but did you just say you're casting with other people now? Caught in 4K on the stream. Somebody clip it. I knew it. This whole time I had my suspicions, everybody. But Trevor confirmed casting with other people. Can't believe it. I've been wronged. I've been slighted. I'm heartbroken.
I need a lawyer.
I need a lawyer. I love it. I love it. Now this is 7th place at least. 7th place at least for old Aaron and Cap.
Not too bad. Good start to the night.
Got the hype music in your ears. That's how we know it's low. Loadout drop not too far away, but that might as well be the no man's land in between here, right? The line in between North and South Korea. That's about as dangerous. That's what it's called, right?
I think so. Yeah,
the DMZ.
The 45th parallel, 49th parallel.
I'm gonna look it up. We have
it is a demilitarized zone. You're right. But
what's up?
You are right. It is the DMZ, but I don't remember what the actual parallel of it is.
Ooh, okay. Not as deadly here as my man Aaron with that AUG, looking for this cash. Oh no, coming in from the cell phone towers and killing them like 5G, Trevor.
It's always the 5G, man. You can't ever trust it. But I mean, that just shows the strength of the AUG, man. That thing is just 100%. Absolutely in control of Warzone right now. It is the king, and you saw in his back pocket, he's got the MAC-10. That's pretty much the secondary that a lot of other people are going with. It's you can't really argue against what's working for the meta, and these guys are just trying to make it work right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
We talked about it earlier, touched on it a little bit, but there's a reason why you see these players all top level pretty much using the same ones. Just clear-cut individual advantages coming through here. Mincemeat made. We're on board with Foam Snatcher there towards the there towards the end as Padre falling. Dead. No. Nicely done. Mincemeat made. Now I don't believe there's any buy stations left on this. There's not going to be really any buyback capabilities, I don't believe.
Correct.
Gotcha.
This is it. I mean, sometimes I think there used to be a buy station. Oh, there is one just inside it.
That's inside.
Okay. That's exactly what I was going to say. There's one that spawns right there, but I didn't know if it was still there or not after the silo opened up.
Bro, and there's a loadout drop right next to them? What is going on? A new lease on life here for your... What is this? I can't read that. Hugger, Padre, and Foam Snatcher squad.
Okay. This is the Northwood squad coming in.
Oh, is it? Okay, got you. The famed Northwood squad.
Yes, sir.
Padre.
Gonna get one back.
Say hugger or
Get a
bugger.
load
I'm
out
sorry,
here,
man. Hugger. Gotcha. Padre, hugger, and foam, and that's what we'll call it. Foam snatcher. I have to wonder where that one came from. Might just be a randomly generated one. Who knows? But even getting one player back, $2,000 just on the side, there's no way that they're going to be able to get in the next one, even with that even with that mask, I believe.
Yeah, this is an interesting development in this one because after we saw the two teammates really get taken out. There was someone that was floating in the background. What a beautiful nade right there.
What a bait! What a bait!
A little aggressive
switch.
though on that side.
Yep. Wow, that was a player just absolutely taking the long way off a short pier here. Rez will be coming through. That player's very low. No, it is not. Done, dusted. Northwood squad. Fading to South Forest. I don't know. Oh, man. Again, same thing. Bus is where it's going down. And usually, my experiences with fights at buses are much more childish and not so bloody. Warzone victory coming through here. Fantastic stuff for your squad. Now, I was trying to grab the kills total. Did you happen to grab that, Trevor?
Numbers going too
squad?
fast. Too much stuff on the screen. I can't read that fast.
Too excited. Too excited.
Reading is hard, man. Yeah, I was trying to figure out right there at the end. There were 3 people in that squad. 2 of them were down. I was waiting because there were 4 left alive in 2 teams. So I was about ready to, just jump on the train where this guy's about ready to 1v3 win this, Warzone match. But got the self-revives off soon enough that they didn't quite get away with that. But man, coming in for the heroics, just missed it by that much.
I hear you. The Superman efforts, unfortunately, not going to be enough there towards the end. Fantastic stuff. What we're going to do now is take a short break, and we're going to get you your points totals and kind of give an update as to where your favorite teams are landing up. Don't tune away, guys. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes.
No, you're right. But
what's up?
You are right. It is the DMZ, but I don't remember what the actual parallel of it is.
Ooh, okay. Not as deadly here as mincemeat made. Run board.
In 2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Inspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
we are back here live. FBI Tugboat joined with my man Confused Caribou. We got Nola and more down there in producer Boxmasters. Just so much he is here, Trevor, and we do appreciate that, do we not?
It's the best when someone else makes my job easier. Like my job,
Ding, ding.
using my brain is already really hard,
Mhm.
and when I have someone that that helps me simplify brain,
Use that brain, yeah, I hear you.
it's so nice.
Brain work. Brain
Brain
strung
hurt.
together. Brain strung together, right? There you go. I want to give you guys a little bit of an update as far as leaderboards and who is closest as of right now. Not going to get it today, I can guarantee you. It'll be happening on March 24th, the finals here for us. Giving you a breakdown, though, that is going to be our Illinois University coming in. Caster Math, 85 total points between their kills and their placements points through our 4 weeks now, correct?
Yes,
That was
this
an
is
actual
number
question.
4.
Yep. Okay,
Yes.
got you. Appreciate it. That, of course, made up of OG Capo, Tedster, and Beautify. Number 2, that's the Western Virginia University, old WVU action. Phantom Valley and Big Bruford. We're gonna be looking at. Oh, okay. So maybe this isn't in. Maybe this is not actually in line because that's 91 points shown for the Western Virginia University squad. What I'm going to do at that point is kind of abandon that because I'm not 100% sure what's up and what's updated right there, and so I don't want to give you guys incorrect information.
Yeah, something's frozen here. Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
We're going to go to a very short break and we'll be back with that once we get these kind of hardware and software issues kind of figured out a little bit because there's... Oh, nope, there you go, I think.
wait,
Trevor, blink if you can see me.
kind of.
Okay, could you not see me when your eyes were closed?
It's correct. When eyes
Couldn't see me
closed-
when your eyes were closed.
Right.
Okay, so that means the eyes are functioning as intended.
No. See, this.
Now, could
this
you
is-
see me? So what's up?
This is what we're talking about earlier. You know, every once in a while, that internet just gets a little crazy sometimes, and
Gotcha.
that's
wild card, baby, wild
as
card.
much as I love working from home. That's the one question mark that I can't ever rely on, and I hate it. I hate that.
Yeah,
I want bring
hear
back
ya.
lands. That's all I'm asking for.
Bring back lands. My goodness, we'll be back there soon, right?
Yeah.
Not getting political on this whatsoever. What the president said that we have like enough vaccines for everybody at the end of like April or something like that. I think.
Slowly but surely, we're
Like
getting there.
probably an eye to trust anybody's opinion on anything, but it seems like we're you know what March 10th as of today, looking at month and a half from that point in time. You know, it seems it's promising is what I'm saying. It seems promising.
There
Said that
is-
before though in this past year.
Yeah, there's light on the horizon for sure.
Yeah, the end of the
to-
tunnel.
To a little bit of clarification of your leaderboard report. Basically, anybody that tuned in for last week's show, the same teams that are in the top 5 are still in the top 5, right? And with
got
points
it,
carrying over from one week to the next, it's still going to be those teams that are relatively in the same contesting points up there, trying to get into the finals, as you mentioned, in a couple of weeks' time here. But yeah, those guys, I mean, they're at the top. Ain't nobody stopping them here. They're still playing out of their minds. They're still, taking control of Verdansk, and they're getting the zip line at the end of the day. They're taking the chopper out. Zombies are coming,
Zip
man.
line
I'm
at the
telling
end of the tunnel, right?
you. Yeah. You gotta
There you go. There you go. Is that the so zombies are coming? Is that the is that like the lore or whatever? Is that the idea? Because that'd be pretty cool, honestly. Kind of like the tie-in from Nazi zombies into Warzone, like why you gotta get out of Verdansk.
So now we're getting into the speculation necessarily of it. I mean,
Yeah.
when the ship actually landed and added a new POI, I mean, you okay, as I mentioned, you shut the subway tunnels, you shut the bunkers, and there was something else that gets closed off, and I can't remember what off the top of my head, but you add the ship, and the ship, there's nothing there outside of, you get this zombie outbreak little thing. You hit a button, like 20 to 40 zombies pop up, and then you get a key card that gives you access to a loot box, which is just a blueprint for an LMG, and then you get a sturdy gas mask, basically, which just takes a little bit longer than a regular gas mask to degrade. But really not a lot to it. But with these little Russian intermissions that are coming in, like there's like this static on the screen, and you get a radio that comes in and says some stuff in Russian and can't understand any of it. But there's a lot of speculation now as to maybe there's like a mass outbreak that's about to happen. I mean, they open up the missile silos. Maybe the missiles are gonna.
Okay.
And then
I get the kind of the tie-in there.
I don't know.
I'm with it.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. So the idea there kind of being that. Oh my goodness. Unpin that. There you go. Unmute. I'm hearing my voice bounce back at myself like some kind of allegory for life here, Trevor. But my point is that I see the tie in there when you're talking about the missile silos and whatnot. Kind of like it's always been the question, right? Like, what did this come from? Where did these zombies come from? That's always a point of, a huge point of interest, no matter what zombie kind of post-apocalyptic story narrative that you're trying to spin. Personally, just to talk about this before we kind of get in. Personally, I've always kind of preferred the fungal aspect of it too. I think that's how The Last of Us took it. Like there wasn't necessarily like a rage virus or something else like that.
Right.
Which 28 days later, rage virus was completely badass. Loved it to death. But like the kind of like the fungal idea, which I believe no biologist here, but I believe that's like almost like more like realistic a little bit. The idea of like a fungal infection coming in and getting into your brain or something.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't.
Based on based on your evaluation of the biological factors there, you'd say that is sound.
I'm sorry, I just got so distracted by what just happened with Insight. Insight
I hear you.
That's a player that knows how to fly a helicopter, and this is a team that we spectated before and has done relatively well on making their way over. Oh no, and they just butcher the whole thing. The whole thing is just worst case scenario. You crash the chopper, you go down, you try to let your teammate catch you dropping off the side of the building, because it is a far enough drop that you will die.
Yep.
But then you miss the catch too. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. There's a little tilt
it's
kicking
like
in there.
like one of those safety fall or the trust falls they do in like some kind of like pseudo bond creating ceremony at work stuff, and then it's just you going to catch them behind and then just closing their eyes and falling face first.
Yeah, that's that's not how you wanted that to go at all. And and he loses the
Either way,
too. Yikes.
Spawns $4,000 away. Life is just a quick, easy $4,000 away. I wish that was more thematical, more true to real life. $4,000, live forever, son.
They also have their loadouts already. Now they're gonna get their second loadout. So being able to pick up both of their weapons and get their extra perks that they're looking for. Now it's just a matter of which direction do you go from here. I mean, they brought their teammate back, so he's going to have his loadout as well. There's a team red. So it's just a matter of what's the play.
What is the play? It's a fantastic question. I feel like at the end of the day, the answer to that question will be entirely based on what hardware you so choose. And see, over at Esport Certified, you can get a wide selection of various gaming gear. This is exclusively designed, sold, marketed to college and university students. You can find out more about what Esport Certified is definitely doing, but they have interactions with Razer, SteelSeries, HyperX, and a lot of these other top-tier, instantly recognizable name brand organizations if you have anything to do with esports. That's Esport Certified, no S on the end, Esport Certified. You can check out more about what they're doing here and what they have to offer.
And they're doing a lot here for the good of the people, and the peripherals are everything, man. Especially with the how important audio is. Playing games like this, you gotta be able to know. Yeah, you gotta know where these players are at any given time, so you can just aggressively challenge buildings like this and know that you're safe to do so. Of course, there's always that one guy with dead silence, but there's nothing you can do about that. No peripherals will save you from that.
Yeah, I honestly I love how the perk is involved in this game, I guess I could say, especially with the reset on kills. It's literally like giving you it's like saying, hey, here's this thing, and you can also make it better by actually doing something with it, right? Instead of just using it for like that mild speed boost or something else like this, it's actively rewarding aggressive, fast, heavy, in-your-face, close quarters combat gameplay, and that is something I will never complain about, Trevor.
Oh, absolutely not. And you know, a thing that, you know, kind of goes in tandem with that, that is very few and far between explicitly because stuns and flashbangs are just so crucial to have.
Mm-hmm.
The stims that just it's minute, it's subtle, but you get a little bit of a boost. And if you are, you know, losing any health whatsoever, all of a sudden you're back to full health. But that stim, I mean, you pair that with the dead silence, not many people are going to ever, but it is a lethal combination. And if you have the, you know, the perks that will pick up all of your tacticals and your lethals that'll refill over a dead body, then you are golden.
Yeah. Obviously, kind of an easier said than done sometimes.
True, very true.
This is Warzone, and everybody will try and be throwing a monkey wrench into your plans no matter which way. Maybe some action starting off here. We're on board with Will, Hold Troll, and this green name is Insight.
That bounty in front of them is looking real nice. Looks like they were in that Jeep, though, so they're going to be skirting off to the side. So, yeah, that is going to be someone, yeah, to run across the rooftop, go chase him down. As far as they didn't, you know, actually put a whole lot of ammo down into that one as it was driving by. But at this point, that's just going to be a little too far away from here. And, you know, being inside of where the zone's going to go, I'm even more surprised to see this a little more aggressive play based off of, you know, the fact you have someone just pushing straight forward. Insight going to do so, where you leave the other two up here on top airport. But, I mean, you just have complete control over everything around you right now, and you can just imagine the other team's going to be going into ATC. You see the glint of the sniper scope there, but this is brave.
Yeah,
brave.
I mean, at some point you got to get started though, right?
Yeah. The lobby's only going to get smaller.
This is true. This is true. 2 points per kill, which honestly I really, really like instead of just 1 point per kill. I think it does kind of offset the idea of, like, it offsets a little bit the camping capabilities, because at the end of the day, it would just get super, super confusing. So in this here, we have what? First place is 25 points, I believe. Yep. That's a good number up there, and nobody wants to get into a situation where you're starting talking about, oh, well, we have 12.5 points for this, and then, you know, kills are only 1 point. It's just simple. Make it 25, make 2 kills, 2 apiece, and it literally makes it simple for everybody.
Yeah, making math easy is one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, yes.
Just
oh, yes.
Please continue to do that. Math just was not very nice to me when I was in college, and well, I'm glad that it's significantly nicer to me now, because yes, all of my teachers, I do have a calculator in my pocket every single day. It's called my cell phone.
Exactly. What?
Can't do trigonometry, but
a whole every
okay.
every single time I pick up my phone, I feel like it's a whole flex against Mrs. Jackson, my Algebra 2 teacher from 11th grade, who told me up and down, not gonna happen. I was trying to make a case for why we should be able to use our TI-84 calculators at some point during tests. Not for the whole thing, of course. I'll let you guess if Miss Jackson was about it.
Well, you just write down the answer every time. Syntax error.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
20
I'll
questions,
let you
they were all
take a
syntax
guess
error.
as to whether or not she was about it, and she ended up letting me do so.
Oh, probably not. No. Yeah.
Yeah, that is there you go. Apt analysis, continued absolute truth being sung here from our color commentator. That is Confused Carib. We'd love to see it. Big brain analysis.
Every once in a while, I have
what is
a
going on
little
with this
nugget.
vehicle? I'm sorry. Oh, it's under. Okay, it's underwise. Sorry, I thought that maybe we would have been on board with this player who's also like a little bit kind of like confused. It's Insight who we're watching right now. He might have been confused as well, kind of like along the same lines as me. Nope. He knows exactly what's up. I'm the one that lost.
And this is just kind of that interesting aspect. You know, they had control over top airport prior, and then they just gave it up. They forfeited to go try to challenge a team ATC. And then, you know, rotating around, another team gets up there. Insight, who was just on rooftop, is now down. You got to, you know, rely on your teammate to potentially take this. There are a couple of zips that take you to top of this structure, but, you know, that's exactly where this other team is, and they're going to be staring you down at that one. So Insight going to be dropped one more time. And, I mean, they have more than enough to be able to get them back, but their buy stations are in positions that are compromised by this team top airport. You know, they're going to be looking down right over the top of this one that is in front of them, and they're going to be able to look over the entire tarmac as to the one that is on the wall where we saw them making their advancement towards. And I think, you know, maybe with the realization of the zone going the other direction, that it was convincing enough for them to pull back away from ATC back to airport. But I'm still not sold on the first approach of trying to challenge that team over at ATC.
I mean, this is a first-person shooter. All first-person shooters grant an advantage, a huge advantage, honestly, to having the high ground. We could go on and talk about angles and why that is, but I don't think that's really necessary to really dive into. This is no exception to your first-person shooters, and what can I say? Just ask Anakin.
He'll tell you every single time.
Yep, with a lack of legs as well.
And then he got taller, and he's like, now I have the high ground because he's.
Yeah, then he got taller. It's just interesting stuff coming out from your Star Wars canon.
He just made sure he always had the high ground then because he was looking down on everybody else. It was actually the big brain
very
play.
smart, honestly. There you go. That's an alpha move right there. Just always has zip lines to go up to. I don't know.
This is it's something that I had mentioned that just completely blanked my mind until I just happened to see this again. Another criticism that I have a lot of these teams that they're doing is, you know, running this AUG is so good right now, right? The burst fire is so insanely good, and it just is able to shred through anybody's armor that is like within 200 meters of them. I mean, a quick couple bursts, their armor's completely gone. You land a couple more, and then assuming your teammates are also shooting at them, it's a very fast elimination that you're going to be able to pick up. The thing I don't like about players that run the AUG is it should be you get one or the other, right? You get one AUG or you get one FFAR. You should not double dip because you're pulling from the same ammo pool, and you are just, you only have so much of it. I mean, why not take an LMG or take an SMG? But like, you can kit these guns to be able to cover the distance with an LMG or an SMG, or you know, be able to make it a better up close and personal weapon. I'm never gonna be a proponent for carrying two of the same weapon, whether it be SMGs, ARs, LMGs, whatever.
Yep. I'm 100% with you right there. Ooh, we got a little stopping power rounds injected into our FFAR right here for Will. Nope, excuse me. That is Will. I'm sorry, I can read. I can do the letters and the words and stuff. The idea, I believe, is the FFAR is honestly more so than other ARs. At least I know in multiplayer, not something I've used in Warzone as much. I'm much more of a typical meta player. I'll admit it. But the idea being that the FFAR can get a lot more done at closer range and can get those shots in as well, I believe. Now, I can't disagree with you, and like if we're getting super technical about it, I believe the AUG here is like the tactical rifle, which is, you know, not technically an AR, but for all intents and purposes, literally the same. Like the only real difference is that they have a farther bullet drop off technically, but everything else outside of that, especially with all of our edits and various scopes and attachments you can put on, you can basically make any AR perform like the AUG there, and you can make the AUG perform basically like any of the ARs there. Do not believe you can change the 3-round burst, though.
Nope, it's always going to be your burst rifle. No, that's all you're ever going to get out of this.
I'm with that, too. If that wasn't the case, I would argue to say that we would see the AUG on literally everything. Like it would be a guarantee. Go for it. And you can do something with it up close and personal. Oh, hello! Tries to give him a hello and a good night. Gets put down himself. Oh, my God, the drop shot and putting him down in the ground. Hate to see it. That is one player, 2 kills against this squad.
Back
it's a
to
quick
the aim
exit
labs.
here, Caribou.
Yeah, back to the aim labs. Inside swung that corner phenomenally well. Obviously knew that the player was inside the tents and played it slow, played it safe. And they did that right up until they just missed the shots. That's really all it boils down to. You did everything else on that approach the right way, but you just couldn't quite execute when it came down to it. And that other player is all of a sudden on cloud 9. Well, momentum.
Exactly. Again, everybody in this game, folks, is actively participating in your AVGL Collegiate Champions League Warzone style, okay? Everybody here. Every kill matters. Every placement also going to come down and really, really make sense when it comes to the when it comes down to the end. Oh, turning and burning right here. You love to see that. That's different squads as well here, Caribou. So talk about management of different different war fronts here, right?
Yeah, trying to figure this one out. That's the obviously the CDL skin that just absolutely manhandled your two teammates, and try to figure out what you can do around this one. Of course, your teammate had come back now, but got to get some recon off of this. Don't let him armor up, and there you go. Get the clean kill.
Gotta get that now.
That's all you got to do for this, and I don't yet. I mean, zone's coming in next 10 seconds. They're gonna be able to, cover this. Get all of the loot that they can out of this. So they at least have a very small window. It just depends on how far they got to run. Because I don't know how much armor they got to work with. Obviously, you got a full satchel here, but Will's gonna be full up. You also have a team now that is going to be on the left side here in Storage Town that know where you are as well. But I mean, Whole Troll here did a really good job, taking that fight on both sides, because he shredded at least 6 or 7 armor plates of this team in Storage Town now, and was able to then help his teammate, get back in the fight with that kill right there at the tent. So, really solid engagement.
Is this it? Or is this 2 players that might actually be able to take train and get inside here? Because like you said, this squad over here to the left definitely knows where they're going. And oh my goodness, dude, mine eyes deceive me, Trevor. I feel very validated right now. Wait, is that, no, oh no, that's not gonna, that's like literally going right outside. That's not going, like it's gonna straighten out right there, but then it's gonna turn left. So, oh well, I was almost indicated. I was almost right.
At the very least,
spot.
Maybe a short ride on the train, but not much more than that. But that's hard right there. When you see the glint in the hills, you see more up there, and serpentine.
Yep.
You got,
I hear you. I hear you. That sounds like the beginning of like some badass vet's like a diary from like Warzone. It all starts with the glint in the hills, always. It's always that damn glint in the hills. What's the meme about, like, it always starts with that smile?
That damn smile. Yeah.
It always starts with that damn smile. It always starts with that glint in the hills.
Wasn't it? Is that a Twilight reference?
No, I think that's the 30 Reasons Why or whatever.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen either one of them, but
same.
I know the reference.
Yeah, I definitely haven't seen either of them. No, I just know the memes really well. I just spend a lot of time on the internet. I don't watch those movies.
I will shamelessly admit, though, I've seen The Notebook enough times to know all the memes from that one.
Bro, The Notebook is a top tier movie. There's no shame there at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Like literally top tier. Yeah.
Hello.
Why? Okay. So why Jack Attack would choose right then to try and get out of dodge is beyond me. You literally sit for either another, like, I'm talking half a second, like a full second. Like, yes, Will might have seen you at the end. Doesn't matter. Would have been able to come through with this one and at least get some damage in edgewise with your teammate. As it is, this is Will now opting to really play this one a little bit slower. Hey, there was a Car 98 down there. We saw it. Do you feel vindicated?
Well, yeah. Someone feeling a little confident today in their play. But this is the
it's me just outside. Oh.
Worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yep. Worst case scenario, like you said. Like, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can be done about that. Oh, was that actually coming from player on top of roof as well? Look at that zone right there, bro. Look at that zone. You literally have like a shoulders width area right there where you're not going to take damage.
Yeah, that's very fortunate positioning, but then you have this team up here. I mean, this is, the players in the hills. We saw this exact same thing a couple of times last week. We saw it in, the second week of qualifier. The teams they're up here earlier, you just got to clear out this section, because you can expect not a lot of players going to be going for the actual gas plays. Great shots right there. I mean, you just
talk about,
that someone's going to be here. You just got to find them. Yep.
Talk about management of your recoil as well. First shot landed chest. Second, 2, I believe, were in the head. And the second burst right there is just going to make mincemeat. Just put them through the meat grinder right here, man. 4 players left. 2 of them on board. K98 out. K98 in. K98 down. Warzone victory here. Fantastic stuff. We weren't even in the 7th circle yet, Trevor.
Yeah, that's especially when it comes down to zones like that, where it really starts to open up and you really start to have a lot of this real estate that these players can just kind of maneuver around, and you get into the trees. Whoever's got the control of the trees is going to help out. Had that warehouse stayed in zone just a little bit more than just the lip of the rooftop, then maybe you would have seen a little more play around that, because like you got all those windows, like that just completely changes the entire facet build. When you go into the final zones where there are no buildings, no structures whatsoever, even that, with the very steep elevation change going up that hillside, there are not many trees up there to take cover behind anyways. So that's a very tough zone to go in. And the only thing you have is just a big old fat silo right in the middle.
Yep.
And you can't use that. Ring
Yeah,
around the rosy,
exactly.
maybe?
I mean, you saw anybody who touched that thing died instantly. Like literally, they got to live there 12 seconds, 15 seconds. There's one player that even tried to kind of get down from there, from that one little lip area. Not gonna last very long.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like this is why on maybe not trios, but at least on squads or quads, like the 4 players, which is obviously not where we're playing right now, but that point, that's honestly like, and just call me like a little bit of like an edgelord or like a what's it, a contrarian or whatever else like that. The smokes. Yeah. I need to have a couple smokes right there. That would have bought so much, like just everything, right? Everything except for actual hard cover, concealment, time to rotate, even some audio cues, so maybe even like would have blocked out some of the footsteps that would have came up on approaching players. That would have been the perfect time for it. Now, yes, it's very, very situational, but I will sing the praises of smoke grenades in your Warzone game modes till the day I die, Trevor.
And I think it's the healthy balance, right? Of, you know, what's in the actual squad. You know, sure, everyone's got their loadouts they're confident with. You know, you want to run with the stuns, the flashes, whatever it might be for your tactical. But given the situation like that, Wilson, you have to make a rotation across a very wide open area. You don't have any cover to do so. Yeah. You got to have that one utility guy like, hey, man, your time to shine. Throw some smokes and let's get moving. Or if you don't have that, get the airstrikes, throw them out, and then you got a haul. But you guys don't have those resources. You just can't do it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you which one of those is much more expensive. The 2 smoke grenades, especially, you come out with it, you hit some sort of one of these ammo boxes and you get looted all the way up. You hit one of the crates in your various police stations and whatnot. You get your second one on top of that. Because again, not something that you're really going to find so often, the smoke grenades. They are still listed as green loot. They still are technically uncommon, so not going to be found just as easily as some of your Simtexes, your decoy grenades that are entirely useless now because everybody knows what they sound like. Which is where we all knew where those were eventually going to get. So the randomization from noises from the decoy grenades, I could talk about that plenty as well. It's just literally like kind of broken, like almost like broken in like not like the classic like gamer term way, like in a, like it's so broken because it's good. It's broken. It's just almost like useless now because again, everybody knows exactly what they sound like. Now I am that player that if I'm running through and I see one, I will almost always pick it up to toss it out a window. Just because it's something there, and it's like a little bit like at that point, because I know where the noise is coming from. Yeah. The way that I look at it is that players will either respond to that and actively go like searching for it and whatnot, and I know where they're going, or at least it's a distraction if I and the rest of my raggedy squad is trying to get out of dodge while the getting is good.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that sometimes you just got to do that, and you see these teams that they'll do something like if the lobby slows down a little bit more than they're liking or more than they're accustomed to, just start doing 360s and throw a few desk pops in the air and just try to draw some attention to yourself. Get in the Big Bertha and just lay on the horn across the map. Just find somebody, because eventually you're going to draw some attention, and if you want those kills, you want those points, then well, that's the way to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got you guys a little bit of replay action. This was a fantastic play right here. Love to see it. Just also sings the song of what the AUG can do. We're going to be back with you guys. Game 3 out of 3 for tonight, starting in just a couple of minutes. Enjoy our replays provided by our very awesome producers and observers.
2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Inspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
And we are back live here, the AVGL Collegiate Champions League Warzone style coming at you and culminating. Now we're coming up at game 3 out of 3 here, Trev.
Oh yeah, one more time. This is for all the marbles here. You know, we got one game today, and you got 3 games next week. And if you can't do it then that's it. You didn't make the cut. Sorry about it. So make it count.
Exactly. At this point, I want to go ahead and talk about one of our partners here that do make these competitions possible. Again, $3,000 on the line here. 1,200, 900, 600, 300 from first to fourth, respectively. That's, of course, esportcertified.com. It's a new gaming gear destination. Again, they're making their hardware exclusively and kind of optimized for your various university and collegiate students and other members of that specific kind of age as well. They have all those different peripherals, all kinds of different PC stuff, and I believe hear tell through the grapevine, might even be seeing some stuff come from them console-wise as well. Don't quote me on that one, Trev. Let's get into the action here, though. Let's get it started. Last game out of 3.
Ooh. Already a rough start here for this triage as they quickly run into that concrete wall, and well, there's another team on the other side of it. So
yes, sir.
It's not quite the way that they were looking for. They still have a second chance at least.
Nice.
One of them's coming back.
New lease on life. Love to see it. Love to see it. At least one back. Dell, gonna be coming in through here. You got a new team. The other players, granted himself another life here. We're gonna be looking at a team that's a little bit more set up, a little bit more ready to get rough and tumble quickly.
See, they got a little bit of cash. They got the loadout coming in here. Imagine, wouldn't be surprised to see UAV pickup here. I'm kind of also surprised in that a lot of teams really haven't necessarily put in a lot of emphasis into self-revives. But, I mean, the UAV is just the expected move, right? Just everybody get as much information as you possibly can on the rotations to get those points. I mean, you talked about, with every kill being worth 2 points apiece. Those kind of have a little bit of weight to them to help you out, to keep yourself up towards the top of the leaderboard, if not to help you climb a little more.
Yes, sir. Once again, we are looking at a situation where nobody's going to be taking any part of that $3,000 home today. We have at least one more week of regular qualifier play. I'll be on the 17th as well. Same time, same place, everybody, which you've come accustomed to across these 4 weeks now. And then the last will be on the 24th, 2 weeks from today. $3,000 on the line, 1,200, 900, 600, and 300 going down from first to fourth, respectively. I think I said that right.
Yep, that
nice.
That was correct. And
there you go. Co-casters like you make this easy, Trevor.
Well, I mean, I can't call you out because you're not wrong. Like, yeah, you said it. Like, I don't have to correct anything. You're already right the first time.
I know you'd love to disagree with me and prove me otherwise, but yeah, today, I gotcha. I got him.
Much as I love, just stirring the pot. I love to stir the pot. I watch a lot of Nick Merckx, and let me tell you, that man is an idol.
Oh, man, I'm not touching that one with a 9-foot pole, my friend. We're getting back in here. We're on board with Dell. The squad is decently loaded out. They'll be sharing resources, of course, talking about ammo, health-wise, maybe even a little satchel to find himself on the ground somewhere. I guarantee they're not going to share that one, though. Looking at this, this actually kind of looks pretty similar to our first game circle as well, right? Kind of bisection this towards the top half favored.
Yeah, a little more, at least towards the south side, but still, kind of cutting off that whole south part of the map, so
yes, sir.
Port's gone, prison's gone, and that's really all that's worth anything. I mean, park and a couple statues down there as well, but nobody really goes there until it is those in-game situations, so not missing out on a whole lot. Maybe a little bit of downtown gets cut off as well, but beyond that, pretty much the whole map to work with here for these guys.
I hear you. What, so a little bit of action probably going to start soon. Bounty target right up top, but the last thing they want to do is make this easy for them to pick off members as they come up one at a time. Also, only one heartbeat was caught on the heartbeat sensor, but as we all know, that is not me. There's only one player out there, Trevor.
True. As quickly as a lot of these teams get both of their loadouts, you can fully expect that some teams already got their Full-blooded already got their ghost. They got everything that they could ever need. So you can't always trust what you're seeing there, but ooh, a nice little angle there. Oh,
Nice.
he never stood a chance.
Nice, yeah. So what this was teammate down bottom getting this guy shots from up top after he laid down, did expose probably a couple legs or even just a single leg across the top of that one. Mincemeat made. At this point, we're looking at, 16 teams. These are trios. If that was true 3-man teams all the way up, it'd be 48. So at least a couple of these teams not fighting at their optimal. R98, we saw it.
Yeah. Ooh. And they're just lining them up here for this squad right now. Will just ahead.
Far action, right?
I mean, that's as easy as it's going to get. They just can't do anything to shoot back. And that's, one of those other things about all these teammates using 2 primary weapons.
Oh my god, that is so ballsy too. This guy will just drop down there with a FAR with 15 rounds on it. Given how fast these rounds can go, especially AR-wise, and that I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe, yeah, so his alternate is the AUG, which is not ideal in close quarters combat in a 3-round burst when you're looking for probably more shots than that to kill a player up close and personal, not even counting the time that it takes to switch your weapons, Trevor. Those Eagle Chow, if there ever was one, he's got to be feeling on top of the world right now.
Oh, yeah. And you get a little extra confidence boost with that, the stun hitting the first time around. So just coordinating there with your teammate coming up the stairs, both you push at the same time. You already got the stun to hit in that staircase. So he's in there somewhere. And at the very least, maybe you lose one, but you just get the revive on the back end. But you start to see the boxes, gifts falling from the sky. It's Christmas already. See how many people are actually going to go for him, because a lot of the teams should already have at least one of their loadouts.
That is, man. If I'm inside right now, I like tighten it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as that head pops up, I'm thinking he's looking at the same thing as me. And also because glints are especially if you're looking directly at, they are not 100% reliable. Especially with a background like that. Not that it's necessarily something that you would miss, visually if you're looking at it, but I can tell you 100% they do not always appear. I've seen that a million times before and then gotten sniped in the face. And I gotta tell you, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah, every once in a while, a little bit of a little head pixel glitch. That's why they call them those headies, and those are absolutely insane.
Well, long range stuff here too. Warzone is just kind of infamous for that. The issues that come in at long range. One would think I think an average now of 109 gigs across the 3 platforms that is really played on. One would think, right?
Yeah, one would think. That's a lot of memory. That's all I'm saying, man. I've had to allocate a lot of resources.
How big is your game right now? How big is your Warzone game right now? I'm honestly curious.
I don't want to know. I know I've modified all of my download, which, don't get me wrong, a phenomenal addition to this, recognizing our game is gigantic. They at least let you modify the download so you can pick and choose what you actually want installed.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And the high quality package. You know what I'm saying? I'm mildly comedically complaining here, folks, because I'm not serious whatsoever. I choose to have that secondary high def pack. How did Real Taze just live through this? There's players to his. Oh my god, that's it. So they dropped a player to the right, and I think teammate Minato actually sends some shots over the top to at least let them think that there's more players here. And with Real Taze's last shots coming from his far left, and now him fully back up, they're actually not in that bad of a position right now.
Yeah, this is the only concern out of this is that you have the bounty that is behind you, and you have the team behind on the other side. So
he's getting
kind
hunted.
of a
yep.
rocking.
There's both
place.
A hunted and hunter situation going on right now, folks.
Yeah.
Just in case again you kind of knew where the Warzone factor.
Yeah, not much more you can do on that one. Just kind of rotate around from the teammate because of course he's the one being hunted, so they know where he's at. But stuck inside a little bitty crate like that, you're okay. Just to let your teammate go. Get the other guy back, and then adapt from there, taking out contracts, whatever the move's gonna be. But Superstore is just barely in this next zone, so starting to pull further and further north, little by little. Not a whole lot though, so I can imagine part of the north side of the map is also going to be starting to get cut off and out of the conversation. Little skirmish here going across towards police station.
Just little fisticuffs. Just
A few
let them
shots.
know they see each other, right? And they're demanding respect from one another.
I mean, they at least pick up one, so that's something to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side,
Ooh.
not alone.
More than some fisticuffs right here. That's Insight fallen decently early. That squad is not done dusted yet. In fact, Holtrol is at a full 3 packs, full health, 8 plates ready for him just to stuff those on in. Fully loaded far with the silencer on top. Not in a bad position. What is all gotta do really right now? Get this elimination in. Yes, it's decently far away, but get this elimination in, rotate on in to a buy station, get at least one drop, at least one player on the way in, or with your newly resurrected teammate. Get the last one in. Back to square one, my friend.
Yeah, I like this a lot better.
There you go.
I mean, you get the
Easy
stack,
peasy.
now all of a sudden you
Easy
got enough
peasy.
cash for
Mana from the
both.
heavens.
Yeah, just go. Just like leave this one. You obviously don't run out in
Send
the open when
it.
there's a helicopter flying above you, but
Oh,
don't
no,
take
that's
that shot.
smart.
That's-
No, shoot at that, right? Like you want them
Absolutely not.
away from these buy stations, right?
Yes, but also no, because you take shots at them. I think the concern with this one now is the fact that the helicopter flying over is gonna
I get it, I get it.
realize that the threat
Attract
is gonna be
attention.
closer. But yeah, at least you get the buyback here. Buy them both back is the right thing. You should buy both of your teammates here. Oh, I guess he's in the
That's
gulag.
fair.
Never mind.
That's fair.
Yeah, wait until he's in the gulag. This is the better play. Yeah, just wait near the buy station. Make sure that your teammate gets out of the gulag. If not, play it slow.
Yeah, I'm more with that. That makes a lot more sense. Player coming back also has 800 on top, so we'll have a little bit. And I feel like that's the calculation that a lot of Warzone players actually don't really bring into factor. They're like, which one do I want to bring in first? Well, yes, it's best to get your best buddy, right, the straightest shot. But also, players come back with different amounts of cash, excuse me, based on how they performed when they're alive. People don't really think about that so much. They just like it's kind of like the next step, like the immediate, like just this one. Like just this next play, as opposed to, well, if I get this one back, then I'll have enough cash to get the third one back, as opposed to just getting 2.
Yeah, now all of a sudden this is a very difficult position for Hole Troll to be in. At least Will is able to get the satchel, pick up all the plates. Can pick up the satchel. Sometimes it's just a little more difficult than it really needs to be.
There you go.
But I mean, the other side, Hole Troll, that whole squad that they were just fighting here, that just took them out, was starting to push up on this. Able to at least take those shots. The team, I expected them to push forward and would challenge Hole Troll, and he'd be back against the wall. Nothing you could really do. Maybe take one with him, but they opted to play it slow and let him get another revive off.
Can't say that that's the move, right? Like when you're in a, given that there's placements, right? Every squad that you kill obviously is pretty much guaranteeing you one extra slot above from where you were at. End of the day, yes, those kills are awesome, but with jumps, I mean, unless you're talking about the second or third placements there, first obviously getting 25 and the next being only at like 21, I believe, 22. Obviously, and then in that situation, you just want to kill the other person because you want to win. My point is frequently it's more going to be about taking individual eliminations, because eliminating an entire squad, again, only gets you one guaranteed slot up. Taking out 3 players gets you 6 points.
Get to the safe zone.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what kind of investment you're trying to make around this. I like this.
Yeah.
Well, corner check here with that. Oh, it's a good attempt on the swing. I like the play, but you're outnumbered. You're not in the best of positions. Oh, he stuck that guy. Oh, and then all 3 of them swung. Could you imagine if he got a 3-piece with that Semtex?
That is almost the situation we're
Legend.
literally just in, Trevor. Like, we were almost in that right then. Would have been one of the most electrifying and interesting plays on stream they would have seen tonight. Gotta say, would have been.
Would have been one of the most exciting clips I've seen in Warzone, period. Just the fact of all of a sudden and I think in that situation, you have something like a MAC-10, MP5, the LC-10 even, and you're just spraying from the hip with all 3 of them swinging like that, then that might be a completely different story. And you might have 3 people down in the side. Granted, they might have a self-revive, and, well, it just wouldn't matter because your teammate is not even close enough to be able to pick you up. But this is kind of what I expect to see from some teams. So just no fear, rooftop of the Big Bertha, and they're just straight in to the middle of combat.
A different kind of battle bus right there, right?
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, just investigating a little bit more about what you said would have been a fantastic play. Something like that, like kind of that spray and pray mentality, is honestly where I'm kind of glad we've moved away from in Call of Duty. Like there's so much more of a conversation around like not just meta weapons, not just what physically has like the lowest recoil and things like this, but it's so much more of a strategic game now. And it always bothered me listening to people complain about Call of Duty and think it's just it's all just reaction, it's all just the spray and pray, like turn and flick, turn and burn, stuff like that. It's a very, very methodical game. Obviously, we're playing Warzone right now, so a little bit less like strategy, methodology into that. Still very fast paced though.
I gotta give an award here to Teddy, who has no fear at all. This man
Sitting on
is
top,
just
yeah,
staring down the scope, just trying to take these pop shots, and just was not concerned whatsoever the fact that they're getting shot at, and just returning fire, and just maybe one of these hits, and if it does hit, well, all of a sudden that's gonna be in the next YouTube video. The no scope for good measure, why not?
Oh yes. I think we've seen enough of those to know that. There's no scope. Yeah, all those old school phase sniping videos. I can't even count how many times I've heard from other people like, oh yeah, man, like, that's what got me into Call of Duty. That's what got me like back into Call of Duty, or like back to caring about esports again, or something like that. I guess like, back in the day, obviously, not anything new, unless I'm wrong. I really don't think they have the same flair anymore either.
Yeah, times have changed in the Call of Duty world. It's a whole different environment in this one. But everybody had one or the other. It was either optic or it was phase. Which one were you?
It was phase, obviously.
You were,
Silly
okay,
question. Silly question. I'm a phase man myself. You can do it too.
Weird.
It's kind of weird, not gonna lie. Weird vibes. Don't like him.
I was on the optic side of it. I had.
Hey, no way's perfect, man. Don't feel bad about it. You can be actively wrong and still be a cool guy.
Okay, nice little delivery system here. That's the benefit of the UAV, just knowing where everyone's at, and you think you're hiding on the rocks, and you have that cover, and well, you're still a red dot on the radar, so there's no way this truck gets up there, right?
Wow. Okay.
I thought I understood Call of Duty physics, but
I'm so happy. Honestly, I'm kind of happy this happens. This makes me feel vindicated for every single freaking time I'm trying to like clamber up something that's like very obviously climb upable, but instead I just die like a dog in the storm after not being, trying to vault like 10 freaking rocks in a row and just failing to on all of them. It honestly makes me feel good to see somebody get some advantage on that.
Yeah, making that one look really easy on that move up there. This team just after mantling the rocks in the Big Bertha, just cleaned up.
Never happened in real life, by the way. Never ever happened in real life.
Oh, of course not. No.
Video games. Video gaming, folks.
This trio's making it look easy, and this is one of our trios here out of Illinois that's up towards the top of the leaderboard, and certainly look like they are here to try to take part by the end of a couple of weeks here in the grand finals. But that's not the best way to do so. But I mean, you got your teammates there, and these guys. You got the cover fire. Just gonna get the tap, pick them up, save that self revive, and
yes, sir.
They're in a good spot right now.
A very, very good spot. Back to the circle, or back to the outside zone, basically. Like that's really not that far out. You have a very short side right there. So if teams do move in from here, they're not gonna have to move in quickly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, given that if somehow there's a rat back there, and then they're just excuse me, and they're back there trying to make their way inside, the simple fact of that they're not going to have to do it quickly will likely get them just more so be about kind of sitting right along the edge of the circle and not necessarily pushing our trio, Mutify, Capo, Teddy, anytime soon. As it is this second, oh man, I would have said stay on second ridge right there, right? Top ridge was out, second ridge looked like it was money though.
Yeah, that was, I mean, not an awful position to be in. I think that it's okay to be able to try to cover this with your teammates, start to play around this wall because there's enough cover to work with here. You just got to make sure that you don't get domed from the right side because you just don't know.
There you go.
But
speaking of Chalip here, Trevor out here seeking the freaking future. Like, we knew this was going to happen, right? Like, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I love the ego. I love the aggression. I love, like, act of getting out there trying to get involved with this game, especially in game number 3 when everything is on the line, like literally, like there's one more week type. But that is just not. I mean, like you said, man, glints in the woods, or glint. What did we say? The glint in the.
Glint in the hills.
Glint in the hills.
Like
The glint in the hills. Straight up, that dozen men right there from literally the active spot where you just said it was going to come from.
And it's just a matter of you with the burst rifle with the AUG. You have to hit 2, maybe 3 bursts. He's got that sniper trained at eye level.
Yeah.
It's just a one and done, one shot, and that's it. And that's literally all it took. It's just a matter of both of you understand that you're both going to wiggle peek on either side of the wall, and eventually you're going to get domed. Very heads up play right there, realizing that someone is staring this guy down on the wall. A little nice little armor break.
I love the quick shot on that one. Pushing onto walls here. Now this is smart. The idea is that Taze is going to take this other wall, actually unload. Gets the first few. It's a little stun action against him. Not going to be ideal. See a flash grenade. He would have been able to come back on this, or even start a healing or so. Not going to happen this way. They do have an armor box actually at the end there, so whatever damage they do take there, as long as they can get the solid cover, they should be all right. Especially if they're low on armor, it would be super smart to just have a player with a gas mask, invest it, and just go all the way back there for that. Now, for Dell, I don't think they're going to be in that situation. I don't think they're going to be down bad like that, as the kids would say. But always something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and that's just a good cover there by your teammates as well, just to be able to, have the acknowledgement that, man, I'm stunned. I can't do anything. I'm worthless right now. They're probably going to try to push me. Just try to cover this because I'm the only one that peaked. So maybe they only think it's only a 2-on-1 situation, and just have both your guys just swing the corner and able to cover you right there. It's a huge to be able to rely on your teammates to win their firefights like that. And now this is nice little place to be.
2 people just got bought back in. So we were just at 6 and 10 a second ago, guys. That's what we're looking at right here. About 45 degrees. That's 2 players now coming down there. Now, will they have the hardware to get in here? Will they have the skills to pay the bills? Different story. That is yet to be seen. As it is, they just went from 10 players to 12 very quickly, and now Teddy making that a little bit of a non-factor. Love to see this, but whoever's got that res, that is one of the best time-wise, circle-wise, where we're at in this game-wise, Trevor, that we've seen so far across these 3 games.
Yeah, just good timing there to be able to get that covered. But now all of a sudden you can just expect these teammates that are dropping back down, exactly like you saw. They're going to be going for these boxes and try to get their loadouts as fast as they possibly can. Good shots on the swing, a little jump around. And, you have these streets now available to you, but you just lost your teammate there. Now you're out in the open. Yeah.
Oh, Heartbreak Hotel has been checked into. 4 squads, 8 players. This squad right here is 3, meaning that there's 4 players total on the other side. Minato just gets cut down across the chest on the outside. Moving on closer in. 3 squads, 6 players, 2 right here. I would love to see if this was like a 2v2v2. I would love that, Trevor.
I'll find out what the final tally is between this. I think I do kind of like this position here as to where these guys are at. The only problem I have with this wall is that you can shoot through it. So if they do get a live ping on you, they're just going to know that, okay, just start to light that up.
This is bangable on the right?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. So that's why, in this situation is where I would come in as a huge proponent for light machine guns and just send it.
I hear you.
Nobody does it.
Not anymore. Too slow. Ugly.
Put it in a battlefield perspective. You gotta have the medic. You gotta have the
suppressing
person that's shots. You gotta have everything on every type of person. You gotta have your recon. The medic. You gotta have the engineer. Let's hold the LMG.
Where did this? Oh, okay. Trying to thread needles here is Dello. 2 front 4 as well. Easy peasy, and that's gonna be it. Dello just putting a bow on top of this one after 2 quick bursts on the outside, 3 quick bursts on the 2 quick bursts on the inside, 3 quick bursts on the outside to the player who was sitting there and getting that one in. You love to see it. Especially with the kind of efficiency, the quickness that he ripped from one to the second, really shows a high skill tier player. Man, it's been a long day. High skill tier player, Trevor.
Yeah, words do be hard sometimes. Hey, man, I'm right there with you. But yeah, that's the Louisiana Monroe college representing to walk away with that Warzone
Okay,
victory
okay.
there at the end. So nice to be able to get them, bumped up a little bit. From what I
Mhm.
see, they're somewhere down in the teens. So just trying to
Okay.
qualify a little bit better. And 25 points, man, plus however many eliminations they end up with. That's definitely a little bit of an assist to be able to help you out, especially with one more week to go in
Money.
qualifiers. Maybe first 3 qualifiers didn't go so well. Well, all of a sudden you got something under the belt here with this victory.
I mean, what, you take a dub in one of these, really, and unless you're facing up against a bunch of people that are just absolutely slaying out, and players that then happen to go forth and get res to take the dubs later, and like you're just facing up against a whole bunch of teams that are only getting kills. Excuse me, they're only getting kills across here and putting up, those crazy numbers of 25 points per game or something like this. Unless that's the situation, a #1 placement here in any of these games, only 3 games per day, of course. So total 15. You get one of those across your team when there's a lot of teams here involved, a lot of players here involved. That's going to be money and get you much, much closer, if not to the top, at least a lot closer to where you need to be to get in the cash. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a very, very short break. A little interview action coming on here for you guys. A little post-game content coming at you. Don't tune away because I'll take it personally.
In 2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Aspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
And we are back. Little post-game interview action coming at you. And oh my God, they did not show me this format beforehand. This is a beautiful, my goodness. Ajax, are you with me? I can tell that you're with me. Excuse me. Beaming right here. I love it. I love it. Got me over here on the right. Got Trevor over here on the left. I think they actually edited his forehead to make it look bigger than it actually is. I don't know. We're gonna be starting our interview here in just a little bit. Ajax, first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming in, giving us a minute of your time after a fantastic performance.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. You up first, Trevor?
I'm up first. All right. Well, first and foremost, we're gonna let you introductions. I mean, I don't know if you can see right here, but Big 12 champions. It's a Jayhawks. I just want you to take notes of that, right? Okay. Understand where you're at right now.
See me.
So go ahead, introduce yourself, where you come from, and why you're not the best in the Big 12.
Well, I'm Ajax. I'm the captain of the OU Warzone team. I go to the University of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. My Warzone team is brand new this year. We just started off before the competition, and we're having a great time so far.
Let hear it. Let hear it. Trevor?
Well, I mean, out of your guys' brand new Warzone competition, right? So this is like your brand new team coming through. You know, how has it been, you know, kind of coming together in a Warzone tournament and coming into something like this? I mean, what are your expectations for your guys' team, and are you guys meeting your expectations?
So honestly, my team, hands down, have exceeded my expectations. Starting off, brand new team, I wasn't sure how well we were going to do. But right out of the gate, we're going headstrong, we're going at it. I'm proud of my guys.
I mean, that's the confidence is full. And I love to see that, you know, being able to understand your type of game. A thing that we can expect out of this one. We in our interview last week, you know, talking about the adaptation into, you know, your sort of play style, because it is a little bit slower lobbies, a little lower population. How has playing in this competition altered your guys' play style?
Man, so with Warzone in general, you're usually stuck with 150-man players. Well, now we're stuck on the 150-man map with only around 50 to 60 people per lobby. So kills, they matter 10 times more. These gunfights, they've gone from not like seeming like just average. Now they mean everything. We want to get these bonus points. Gunfights are the way to go. Placements are the way to go. Everything is all just a lot more difficult and calculated, it feels like.
Now, based off of just the experience in understanding the meta and, you know, as it shifted, we've been in a very fortunate sort of place where there's a lot of weapons that are really good and you can make any weapon good with the right attachments. Are you guys the type of squad that's confident enough to run in with the Car 98 or the AX50? Or are you guys sticking with the FFARs and the AUGs and sticking to the TikTok content creator meta?
Quite honestly, we're using what we feel comfortable with. We have a guy, he's using the Car 98. I'm using the meta for the most part. I'm just kind of jumping around with whatever feels nice. With me, personally, I like to adapt and just kind of jump around with whatever I'm feeling for the time. But what I like about my team, everybody's using a little bit of everything, and you can really see their own themselves express themselves throughout their weapon choices and the way they use their different play styles.
Before I pass it off over to Tugboat, what was your least and your most favorite meta that's come across Warzone?
Oh man, looking back on it, I'm not a big Car 98 person. Kind of scandalous. I wasn't a big fan of that meta, seeing everybody run around with the same gun. When I like using fully automatic weapons, assault rifles, and submachine guns. So for a bit, just killing people and seeing the same Kar 98 every single time was a real pain.
Okay. No R90. That ain't it.
You broke Trevor's heart here. He was talking all day on the broadcast about that Kar 98 and
And I
the
love me
sweet
some
spots
rifles.
that you can be hit there with a K98.
You'll never see me running around
breaking
with
his heart. Breaking his heart. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Ajax?
I said you'll never catch me running around with one of those Kar 98s.
Never won't touch it with a 9-foot pole. Love to see it.
Keep it away from me.
So Ajax, I think you kind of answered this a little bit, but I want you to expand upon this a little bit more. Maybe talk about it some. In general, your squad, are you more like, if you had to pick one or the other, are you guys more be looking at your placement points? You can be looking at your kills points.
Man, honestly, it just kind of depends how we feel in that game. So if we're going right off the gate, we try to kind of balance it. If we have a more kill-heavy game, but we get lower placement, next game we'll try to even that out. We're doing micro adjustments each game to try and fix the issue that we had before. That's kind of our adaptability plan.
No, I like it. I like it. So realizing the benefit to having both of these really, and coming through, and if in one round you kind of performed lackluster in the placements, like say you came in hot and heavy, took a bunch of kills but didn't place in maybe even in that top 20 or whatever else like that, next game is going to be about those placements.
Yep.
Got it. Heard. Fantastic stuff. Now I want to ask, before we get you on out of here, for your squad, for your esports program, any long-term goals, any short-term goals, any other kind of news or stuff that you want to talk about your school?
Long-term goals for the OU Warzone team, honestly, I want to see ourselves grow. We just started off, as I was saying, and I want to see our organization last for years to come. When I'm gone, no longer coach and no longer attend here because I'm a freshman right now. Looking back on it, I want to see this. I want to see the OU Warzone team, OU Call of Duty, and OU Esports striving way on into the future.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Trevor and I talked a little bit more about we are archaic, and so I went off to college 10 years ago, you know, and I'll let you guess how much support there was for esports then. My point is, I'm not complaining, nothing like that, but you really are in a unique position here, Ajax. Really, I've been gifted in a lot of ways with more support now for video gaming than literally ever has been in the past. Now, that is probably only going to aggregate. It's probably only going to get stronger, and there's going to be more support behind it. But really, without preaching nothing like that, man, really consider the position that you're in and how much you can get. We're talking about $3,000 on the line total prize pool wise. And I bet you and the rest of your squad will be eyeing that 1,200, right?
Yep.
There you go. You heard it here first. Confident words by the man Ajax, the freshman over there at the Oklahoma University, right? I didn't say that wrong.
University of Oklahoma, University.
University of Oklahoma. Sorry.
Same.
Yeah, I know there's like you know
Garbage either way. It's fine.
There you go. I didn't want to start that. You know, calm the fires. Let's get out of here. Ajax, I want to thank you for coming in here and give us a minute of your time. We'll slice that big brain as about what to expect Warzone wise today, yesterday, in the past, as well as in the future.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I was saying thank you.
Yeah, no, we again appreciate you having me on. I'm FBI Tugboat. Jax, thanks again here. Now, Trevor, wanna go ahead and get this, get the good people on out of here. They've been here for a while. We really appreciate you guys watching. Want to go ahead and give a shout out again to our big partner here, that's Esports Certified. It's a reason why it's a gaming gear destination. You can check out what they're doing and more on their website. Kind of check out their Twitters as well and all kinds of social media, because this is an organization, a name that is not the last time you'll hear it. I can guarantee you on that. Thanks everybody for bringing me on in. Thanks to our production staff as well for kind of making this a little bit easier. And with that, Trevor, I do believe we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast. Of course, is the end. Am I right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I had like another 20 minutes of like trash talk that I could have given to Oklahoma. Their basketball team's playing right now, and it's not looking too great. But
Gotcha.
Their Warzone team's looking all right.
We'll be sure to give you the stream so you can talk about that endlessly for the rest of the night. Okay, man? Just keep on talking and it'll be recording, I promise.
Great.
Thank you guys for watching. FBI Tugboat here. You can find me at Twitter at FBI_Tugboat. My co-caster here. You can find him at Confused Caribou. Caribou is only spelled with one R. No underscores,
like
no
that.
spaces, no crazy stuff like that. Caribou, there you go. With the word confused spelled just like it is in front of that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time, next week, Same AVGL Collegiate Champions League Warzone style coming at you. Same time, same place. We'll see you then. Not as deadly here as this heat made. Andre falling. Dad, no! Nicely done.
From this camera. You are just. When you only have so much of it, why not take an LMG, take an SMGs? Like, you can kick.
On literally everything. Like it would be a guarantee. Go for it, and you can do something with an opposing personal. Oh, hello! Tries to give him a hello and a good night. Get put down AVGL Collegiate Champions League Warzone style. Okay, everybody here, every kill matters. Replacement also going to come down. Really matters. Replacement also going to come down. Really makes sense when it comes. It's going to come down to the end. Oh, turning and burning right now.
Game that just absolutely manhandled your two teammates. You try to figure out what you can do around this one. Your teammate had come back now, but try to get some recon off of this. We'll let him armor up, and there you go. A little shamelessly good though. I've seen the Notebook enough times to know all the memes from that one.
Bro, the Notebook is a top tier movie. There's no shame there at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Like literally top tier.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Why? Okay, so why Jack Attack would choose right then to try and get out of dodge is beyond me. You literally sit for either another. The second burst right there is just gonna make mincemeat. Just put him through the meat grinder right here, man. 4 players left. 2 of them on board. K98 out. A98 in. They have all those different peripherals, all kinds of different PC stuff, and I believe hear tell through the grapevine might even be seeing some stuff come from them console-wise as well. Don't quote me on.
Was correct, and
There you go. Co-casters like you make this easy, Trevor.
well, I mean, I can't call you out because you're not wrong. Like, yeah, you said it. Like, I don't have to correct anything. They're full-blooded, already got their ghost. They got everything that they could ever need. So you can't always trust what you see in there, but ooh, a nice little angle there. Oh,
Nice.
he never stood a chance.
Nice. Yeah. So at least a couple of these teams not fighting at their optimal. R98. We
Man.
saw it.
Yeah. And they're just lining them up. That's as easy as it's gonna get. They just can't do anything to shoot back, and that's one of those other things about all these teammates using 2
15
primary
shots.
weapons.
Oh my god, that is so ballsy too. The
Yeah.
issues that come in at long range. One would think with, I think, an average now of 109 gigs across the 3 platforms that it's really played on.
Though, so I can imagine part of the north side of the map is also going to be starting to get cut off out of conversation. Oh, little skirmish. Would have been one of the most exciting clips I've seen in Warzone. Just the fact of all of a sudden you just, and I think in that situation, if you have something like a MAC-10, MP5, 3 people down in the side. Granted, they might have a self-revive, and well, it just wouldn't matter because your teammate is not even close enough to be able to pick you up. But this is kind of what I expect to see from.
Hey, no one's perfect, man. Don't feel bad about it. You know, you can be
That's where it all
actively wrong and
started.
still be a cool guy.
Okay. That's a little delivery system.
It's like very obviously climb upable, but instead I just die like a dog in the storm after not being, trying to vault like 10 freaking rocks in a row and just failing to on all of them. It honestly makes me feel good to see.
People try to cover this with their teammates. Start to play around this wall because there's enough cover to work with here. You just got to make sure that you don't get domed from the right side because
See, right,
you just don't know.
There you go.
But
Speaking of child, the hardware to get in here, will they have the skills to pay the bills? Different story. That is yet to be seen. As it is, this went from 10 players to 12 very quickly, and now 10 again.
good timing there to be able to get that covered. But now all of a sudden you can just
That was
expect these
awesome.
teammates that are dropping back down, exactly like you saw. They're going to be going for these boxes and trying to get their loadouts as fast as they possibly can. With shots, you got to have the
suppressing
person that's yeah, like you got to have everything on every type of person. You got to have your recon, your medic, you got to have the engineer. It's holding the LMG.
Rid of this. Oh, okay. Trying to thread needles here is Dello. 2 front
1v1.
4 as well. Easy peasy, and that's gonna be it.
Everything on every type of person. You got to have your recon, the medic, you got to have the engineer. It's holding the LMG.
Rid of this. Oh, okay. Trying to thread needles here is Dello.